Okay, so we're back in the shed, and today's fun and games is making a kitchen. So having had a few quotes from various people and nearly falling off the chair with how much it all costs for a really very small kitchen. Okay, so we've gone for ordering door fronts, and I've ordered the carcasses of the drawer units and stuff like that, because they're more of a pain in the arse to make. And the rest of the units I'm going to knock up out of this lovely beach birch ply in 18mm. The advantage is you also get a unit that's made out of not proper wood but decent plywood, as opposed to MDF and covered in melamine, which is very susceptible to damp and stuff like that, which is not that great on boats. So I decided to go for this bit, but making my life easy, and having all the drawer carcasses I've bought. This is basically an Ikea carcass, so I'm just going to use it as a template to cut out the bits and pieces that I need from this sheet using the track saw. Okay, update on progress. I've managed to break one of the garden tables with my clumsiness, and also make a couple of units, which they look a bit rough and ready, but they weigh a ton, and whereas before using the MDF ones, you sort of screw the legs on them, and you're really worried about whether the legs are going to stay on or not. Once I put the legs on these, and they're not going anywhere, because they're really nice and sturdy and very heavy. So all in all, quite happy with them really, and I wish I'd had the confidence to do all the units in birch ply, but to be fair, doing drawer units is a fiddly arse process, and if you get it slightly wrong, the drawers don't run properly. So I thought, well, anything that's got a drawer in it I'll buy. So far that's taken 2 sheets of ply. It's about 35-36 quid a sheet, and not a lot of waste. In fact, to be fair, you can make one out of wood quicker than you can building the Ikea ones. Not that I built them yet, but I just know that they are fiddly as. But okay, well, I hope you can see those. I think they're pretty cool. I'm making some shelves now. I'm going to make 2 shelves per unit. I used the 90s on the plywood, so when cutting the big sides, I took the 4 corners out of the board to make 2 cabinets worth of sides. If you understand what that means. Yeah, that seemed to work out okay, because you know that, well, it's pretty much that the plywood is cut to a square, and as I haven't got a long square anyway, that worked out well. And then also you got 2 machine sides as well, which is good. Waste has been minimal out of the 3 boards. These legs are really good. Once you screw them in, wow, they're absolutely rock solid. Into plywood, but when you go into MDF, it's a whole different story. If you don't lift them up exactly square, the legs fall off. Yeah, so out of 2.5 boards, I've made 3 cabinets, and I've got the 2 large sides for the 4th one. The only reason I'm not making that is because I've got to go down to the boat, have a fertile about, and see where the how wide it's going to be, whether I'm going to make it 800 wide or slightly less, because I'm going to have to cut down the units that are on the bulkhead wall. But I think I'm happy with this process, because the cabinets are absolutely rock solid and heavy as anything. Some of you might be thinking, well, you've got some white units and some wooden units. Well, I'm not really bothered about that, to be honest. I'm not. I mean, it might be bad for somebody else, but I'm thinking if you really cared that much about it, you could paint them white, which I probably won't bother doing, because the inside of a cupboard to me is the inside of a cupboard. But it might be necessary just to paint the outside edge where the door shuts, so that everything appears to be white and the colour of the door along the run of the kitchen. So that's something I might do, just paint the outermost edges. Everything else on these things is going to be hidden. You're not going to see it anyway, so you're only going to see the inside. So I've taken the nicest grain to be the inside, and everything else is going to be covered by either worktop or decorative panels. Don't know how much money I've saved doing this, but it's not really all about. It's not really about money. Primarily, I think these units are better because if anybody has built a kitchen before, you know that the MDF things are pretty shonky, and they will end up, melamine starts coming off and all that kind of stuff. Well, these things are I would say probably worse on a boat, not that I know, but you get a lot of condensation and stuff. Boats are left a long time, and any kind of moisture is going to soak straight into the MDF and it will start to swell up. So that will be the start of the end of your kitchen. So I think these have got more longevity about them. They're probably going to kill me lifting them on the boat, really. That's the 30 cupboard, stuck and glued and drying off. One more to go, like. Oh, another thing I was going to show you. This is a nice little sink from Ikea called Vatudalen, whatever the hell. Anyway, it's just a smaller sink, and it's got a small draining board. And they actually said it doesn't fit in one of their 400 units, but it absolutely does fit in my 400 units. So I bought it anyway. I thought, well, I might have to cut it about, but it. Right, well, we're back in the shed this morning, day 2 of the kitchen build, I suppose. Yeah, for a laugh, last night I built one of these Ikea things, and just, you know, got a bit disillusioned with it, really, to be honest, because I did that with a hand screwdriver, tightened it too much, and the whole thing just sheared off. And I don't know whether you can see in there, but when you put screws in and stuff, it's just the melamine just is just breaking off. So all in all, not too impressed with it. Also not that impressed with all these myriad of holes up the side and stuff like that. So and the fact is, it's just, I can just see that it has a tendency to fall to pieces. But I mean, I don't know what metod means in Ikea lingo, Swedish, but yeah, I think it's crappy. That's what it means. So there you go. Not too impressed. Yeah, and if we got any bits left over, it doesn't really matter, because it just goes to extend the Sparrow terrace. Down at the boat doing some final measuring for the kitchen bits and bobs, and yeah, so what we got is some, actually they're our wall cupboards, but they are 37 wide, so we're going to have to cut them down to 300, and the idea being that that will then even up this walkway, or the stair drop down from the wheelhouse. So that'll bring this out by 300, and then you have that sort of cupboards come up to here. We're hoping to have got the fridge goes there, and over on this side we've got a little run of cupboards coming out here, washing machine there, and oven hob in an island here. Extra large worktop, hinged, so like a hinged breakfast bar thing. Couple of stools there. So that's kind of a work desk and breakfast bar. Yeah, and that's about it. We still have enough room for a little sofa, hopefully. TV in the corner there. Fireplace there. So yeah, that's going to be the roughly the layout. So yeah, just go back home now and knock these cupboards out. This top cupboard has got glass doors, so I don't really want to paint them, so I'll keep the Ikea cabinet, and that'll be white, and I'm going to glue this shonky Ikea back to a piece of plywood, and then I can screw the sides into that plywood as well, and that will keep the whole thing together and stop it being Ikea shonky. Yeah, right, well, back in the shed, just thought I'd seize this opportunity to have a little Ikea rant. Because I've just kind of looked at some of my documentation, and I think I was the main delivery came on the truck on the 24th, and then it said subsequent parcel delivery on the 25th, and I thought, okay, fine, but I didn't actually look at the month very closely, and it turns out to be March. So yeah, that's first Ikea rant. It's like a month. And it's like, okay, yeah, anyway, never mind. Next Ikea rant is this is the back of a wall unit, and look, it's not even a shonky wobbly thing that I had before. It's in half. Somebody in Sweden has decided that they can earn an extra Ferrari if they make the box half the size, and that's what you get. That's supposed to be on the wall. I haven't bought anything from Ikea for about 20 years because I ordered a hob from them and they sent me an oven. I suppose it was close, but you know, close is no cigar, is it really? Anyway, I think it'll be another 20 years before I go back. Supplementary rant is they didn't send me a tap or 2 sets of legs. So if you're selling somebody X number of doors or X number of units, you probably think, wait a minute, X number of legs. But no, and tap. You know, slightly key in the kitchen, a tap. Anyway, catch you later. This is start of the kitchen build now. So I managed to get all the kind of units built. We got down here the wall units at the end here. So we're going to get that one done first, and then get onto the corner and start the run of the sink. Weird looking thing is going to be the join between the run down the starboard side of the boat and where it starts to go 90 in, i.e. where the cooker unit comes. So I'm going to obviously put some coloured material on that. So those 2 gaps will allow the drawers in the starboard unit to open and not hit the cooker, and also the cooker door to open and not hit the handles of the drawer unit. So it'll all become obvious as when we stick it in, but another piece of glue, wood and screw engineering. Okay, so here we are on a horrible day, howling gale, doing what I find quite stressful is drilling holes in the boat, which, you know, having spent a long time welding all the holes up, and now installing holes is a matter of some stress. So yeah, but had to put 4 holes in for sinks, showers, kitchen sink and washing machine, and so here we go, going in, apprehensive. Nothing quite so terrifying as drilling holes in your boat. Ooh. Got with a bit of luck. The outside world. Terrifying, and very near the waterline as well, so quite know what we're going to do about that, but seacock, I think. That's not rude. Right, that's in temporary until I can get some Sikaflex and do it properly, and I also need a some kind of deep socket to wind that up tight, so more tools required. Well, there you go, 4 holes drilled and in. Oy, I think it might even work with the sink as well.